Hello? Hi, Pat. Sure, as we discussed earlier. Now, also, I have specific proposals, for instance, which I don't think the other candidates have, to solve the crisis of light rail and save St. Paul and the Midway University Avenue area while moving Minnesota forward. And so I think this distinguishes me from Betty and Tony, and this is based on my experience in political processes as well as in journalism. So clearly, when we commit ourselves to a program of federal elitism in Washington, and those elitist schemes fail like they clearly have since 2008, we have to have some way to pull out of it. To use a metaphor, we can't leave the plane on autopilot when we can take back the controls manually and navigate our way home. I think, and I've asked people already kind of indirectly, and I'm going to ask them directly, is to support this federal waiver that would save downtown St. Paul and save especially the Midway corridor area, the University Avenue Midway area. And what I would like to do, and I think is feasible, and I think the government should let us do this, in the federal government, they should let us keep that train downtown St. Paul and over by the university. So in other words, you get a few trains. I'm familiar with the Hiawatha system, and you probably are too, right? Okay, so keep a train running from the lower town area up to around the Sears parking lot or the Capitol area and back down. So they run back and forth more frequently and with a very low fare, and use those as kind of park and rides to build up the whole downtown business and kind of revive that. Then we go over by the university and we do the same thing. We provide a train that would run from the University of Minnesota somewhere thereabouts. But let's say up to short of the KSDP area, back downtown, and the students could ride to their homes and ride all over on that. Those two things would be really productive. But if you look at the area along University Avenue coming away from the Capitol, and away from the university, that's going to be very, very inefficient. And so what we could do is to hold that off, let the people take their communities back, build their businesses, and try to find a way, if we're going to proceed with that, to use elevated rails in a way that makes the community a lot more livable, and also allows traffic to get back and forth, let's say along Snelling Avenue as it crosses the train tracks along Lexington and the like. Because if you've ever been to 46th Street, and I have, I used to work out at the Cancer Society in Mendota Heights, so I would try to get out to that 46th Street station. I think it was a 446 or something that I took. And you would literally wait for 15 minutes just to get across the street to get on that train. And this is the kind of backups and inconvenience we're going to see all along University Avenue. It's just going to be insane. So we could hold off on that and implement that in a way that actually helps the Twin Cities. So that's what I would like the other two to accept, that waiver, that a federal waiver that would allow us to save the city and to use what we have to go forward rather than to go back, as it were.